Welcome to the Film Threat Livecast. I'm Chris Gore. Alan Ng will be joining me shortly. Big reviews today. The Mandalorian and Grogu is in theaters. We have some more to say about it. Ladies first, a movie with Sacha Baron Cohen premiered on Netflix. I was up at 6:30 a.m. today to watch it and tell you about it. Also, I Love Boosters, Passenger, In the Gray, Is God Is. So much to talk about. Spider-Noir is coming next week, and they just dropped the trailer for Vought Rising. That's right. The Boys is over. Vought Rising is coming in 2027. The trailer was minutes ago. Minutes ago it dropped. Let's get Alan in here. I know I have someone special to intro him.
Aw.
Did you see how we got a special guest?
I know. Now all the kids are going to watch the show.
You think they are?
Yeah.
I wonder.
He's so adorable. I mean, how can you not see a movie with the adorable Grogu in it?
I don't see how you could do that. But God, how early were you up? Or did you stay up last night to watch?
No, I was up at 6.
I was up at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the running time, 93 minutes. I was very happy. I was like,
then you started it.
Then I started watching it. Oh my God. We'll get to it. Oh God. What is it? We were just talking about before the stream. You know, it's one thing if a movie is really, really good and you are excited to talk about it. The movie Obsession was that for me last week. But I take no joy in sitting here and talking about things that are bad. Ultimately, I want things to be good. And most things that we see are mid. They're not terrible. They're not great either.
Yeah.
By the way,
I just wanted to say,
sure.
On the other side, Ladies First met every expectation.
Oh, it did. Oh my God. It lives up to the trailer. And the movie Obsession, I was reading this morning. This movie was made for $750,000.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
By a filmmaker who cut his teeth making movies on YouTube. This is his second feature. It made $17 million opening weekend. And guess what? This almost never happens. And it used to be the norm. It's going to make more money its second weekend than the first weekend. That used to happen all the time back in the day. They would open a movie. They call it platform release. And rather than opening on 5,000 screens, a movie opened on 300, then 1,000. If it did well, they would expand. It would make more money. And they called that legs. A movie has legs. Mm-hmm. It's making more money the longer it's out. That doesn't happen. Yeah, word of mouth. It doesn't happen.
Also, we didn't used to have so much information about a movie before it came out. You know, it was like you saw the title, you saw the trailer. It opened opening weekend, and if it was great, people would talk about it, and then it would just snowball from there.
Yeah, well, this is basically my suggestion to you that you go see Obsession. I actually think you would really like it, Alan. It's not that gory. It is horror, but it's mostly psychological.
Yeah.
And I don't
feel like it's weapons type horror.
Yes, more psychological tension, more about tension. And I think you would really like it. So they're saying it's on the road to making 100 million.
Wow.
What other movie? Iron Lung made for like 2 million, made over 50. This is a new trend, and it's very encouraging. It's very.
Oh, I mean the new trend of tell a good story and people come and see it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's never happened in the history of Hollywood.
A good movie that people like makes money. I love that story. Let's get to the people and see what's up.
Yeah, Sons and Shadows Cast gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sons and Shadows Cast. Appreciate you.
And then he also follows up with Chris Coffee Pool, starting 1 cup, 150 emails plus. That's more like me. Too many popcorn buckets and hallway decoration stream in a week, right? And the office is clean. Got to get up out and with the pool prediction.
Well, I'll just say this. I'm on my 2nd cup. I could use 2 more, which I might go get a cup of coffee during this, during the show. I just need it. I need it, folks. But yeah, I didn't get to the emails because, well, I had to watch. I had to watch Ladies First.
Yeah, you had to watch.
Thank you. I did.
Kenneth Marchant. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Kenneth. Hope you have a great weekend.
Happy birthday. Hope it's a good birthday. Birthdays on the decade, like I think are like 30, 40, 20, 10 years old. Those are the good birthdays. Yep. Everything in between is like, who cares?
That's me next year.
Oh, wow.
I have a 0 coming up.
Oh, my God. You look so young.
I know.
I'm impressed.
Obsession, a masterpiece. Alan, you can handle it.
I believe in Alan.
Yeah, it's like the demonic I don't like. It's the gore and the body horror stuff I don't like.
Yeah, but, well, there's
the slasher stuff I don't like.
You'll see. Obsession. I think you have an appreciation for well-made indie movies.
I mean, I like Weapons. I really liked Weapons. I like.
Then you will like this. You will like this a lot. Psychological.
Okay. All right, Lord Thought. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch, shop.filmthreat.com as we head down the road to 169,000.
I appreciate that. That's great. And thank you, Lord Thoth. We appreciate you. A lot to talk about today. Let's talk about this. And I haven't seen it. I only saw that this popped up on my feed. It is, let me cue this up for us. This is the trailer for Vought Rising, which stars Soldier Boy. It is a prequel to The Boys. So The Boys wrapped up. It's all done. It's all done. And now we've got Vought Rising. Here's our trailer reaction. Let me put up a little banner here to get us going. Let's here we go. Let's put up a banner. There we go, Alan. You ready to see this?
Yeah.
Okay, and I have not seen it. I only watched the first few seconds. We'll see. Let's very much like The Boys with period costumes in the 1950s with characters we've seen in The Boys. What are your thoughts?
I love these kind of what if type of TV shows, and the clear what if here is, what if Trump rose to power in the 1950s?
That is the best observation. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, look, I didn't care about The Boys. I don't care about this.
Okay.
I don't. You say Vought. I have 0 clue as to who Vought is.
Vought is the company that made the serum, V, which turns you into a soup. It gives you superpowers, but like a box of chocolates, you don't know what you're going to get. So sometimes the powers are gruesome or useless. Sometimes it's something fantastic, like flight or laser.
So Vought is Trump. Okay, got it.
No, Vought is the company. All right, we'll get to it.
There's like a big V on Vought on everything, right? Put your name on it.
Let's talk about another trailer that dropped. This is a movie that is not tracking all that well, unfortunately. Masters of the Universe. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that property. It kind of came out when I was not at the age that would be watching that. He-Man. So I had discovered girls when that cartoon. I'm not gonna lie. So the
I think you're
final
also thinking about going into college at that time too.
now but I'm hearing it's super fun. It's like Flash Gordon, which is a movie I love with Sam Jones. Love that film. I love the cheesiness. I love the original Flash Gordon with Buster Crabbe. So that description, that actually has me. We keep hearing that which I think is an overreaction. We hear something like, hey, there are strong female characters, or some dumb actor will say something. It's an examination of toxic masculinity when it really isn't. You could read into it that it is, but it's that's if you're thinking too hard. You need to
because we have an example of that in a real movie.
Yeah, that does happen, but I feel like you can read into any movie any of your stupid ideas from academia. On the surface, this looks fun, and I want to see a fun movie. Let's just watch this final trailer for Masters of the Universe. Cartoon.
Adam, when you hold the magic sword, what do you say?
By the power of Grayskull.
Go on.
I have the power!
Now you're ready.
It seems the prodigal prince has returned. I am a devil, but I mean to be a god.
What am I supposed to do?
You are he who will restore peace to Eternia.
Skeletor took my family, and he destroyed our world. I'm gonna fight for it.
He's coming!
Mechanic. And Ram Man.
Hell yeah!
And you, Fisto!
Mr. Allen!
It's Adam, dude.
Hey,
Allen!
put your neck away. Let me show you what reading power looks like.
The time for talk is over.
You can help me with this? Whoa.
It is quite heavy, so if you
Oh,
could just...
oh my god, yeah.
All right, look. Does it look fun? It looks
The Mandalorian
fun.
and Grogu.
Wait till you talk.
Hey,
about-
VR.
There we go. All right. I think it looks fun, but I do think there is an element, and I remember this when I was in college, of people that would overanalyze a movie and say, The Wizard of Oz is really all about capitalism, and how capitalism, if you, and I would just, those people would annoy me. They would overanalyze a movie and didn't really get into how they felt about it. And while I do believe that a lot of film criticism analysis can be useful, you can overdo it to the point where you're not enjoying life. If I sit there and I break down a BLT, a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, and I can't just enjoy a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, if I start thinking about how the bacon is harvested or the lettuce is picked, it can ruin your enjoyment of the BLT. I prefer to take a bite of a crunchy, delicious bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich and just enjoy it. That's how I feel about a lot of movies. And while I agree analysis, you can overanalyze something into no longer enjoying just what is meant to be a fun movie. I want to hear your thoughts, and I genuinely want to hear your thoughts, Alan. So.
Yeah, let me overanalyze and break this down.
No, please don't.
Little boys fantasize about saving the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having powers and
Yeah,
wielding
that's
a
why
sword.
these movies work. It's as simple as that. I look, intellectually speaking, maturity wise, I don't care about this movie. I was never a fan of it. I was too old like you to have really gotten into Masters of the Universe and savored each episode and the themes that it explored. I was in college. Television was not a thing when I was in college. But even then, it was, watching Voltron, watching all these other kid shows. It was always about saving the day. Overcoming your weaknesses, taking down the bad guy and coming through for all humanity. And there you go. That's what this movie is.
That's how I'm going to see it. Is I'm going there to have a good time, get swept up in a fantasy adventure. And I just want it to be fun. I want it to be fun.
And learn a little about toxic masculinity while we're at it,
Yeah. This is this annoying. Have you heard this term retard maxing?
No.
I just learned this term from Mark Andreessen, of all people. Retard maxing. Everything is like looks maxing. These stupid made up terms, but it's fine. So retard maxing is stop thinking too much about things. Certain things you just want to enjoy. And retard maxing is basically saying, I'm just going to enjoy this, not think about it too much. There are movies I'll go into that I want to have, really think more deeply about. This isn't one of those. So when you go to Masters of the Universe, consider retard maxing your experience.
So if someone were to say, take an iconic character of the 20s and 30s and then race swap it, and then have to justify it by going deep into some kind of lore and history about it to justify why certain decisions were made, that's what that would be?
Yeah, retard max.
Okay, got it.
Supergirl is coming, and shockingly, star Millie Alcock had some thoughts in a latest issue of Variety. Just effing go for it, she says. How Supergirl star Millie Alcock learned to ignore the trolls and become a punk rock superhero. Before you get to the article, Alan, I know you have some notes of highlights. There is literally no hype for this movie. I'm kind of shocked. This is the next movie in James Gunn's DC cinematic universe, and the hype could not be less. The excitement could not be less. We saw a scene at CinemaCon that left people shrugging their shoulders, and even pundits who don't talk about the nerd space often at all, people like Matthew Filoni, said it just looked lame. Well, comments from the stars that are on the Zegler spectrum are probably not going to help. So, Alan, do you want to get into this story?
Sure.
Here we go.
Millie Alcock's upcoming turn as Supergirl will introduce a very different version of Kara Zor-El than audiences have seen before. Inspired by the comic series Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, this Kara is a troubled punk rock hero struggling with grief, isolation, and an identity crisis after witnessing the destruction of Krypton and the deaths of everyone she loved. Alcock admitted she was intimidated by the high-stakes audition process, but her emotional performance convinced DC executives immediately that she was the right choice. They said Alcock brought vulnerability, toughness, and emotional depth the character needed. Unlike previous portrayals, this Supergirl begins the film as a self-destructed drifter, often drinking and trying to escape her pain. She spends much of the movie wearing a Blondie t-shirt rather than her iconic costume, reflecting a character who has not yet embraced her role as a hero. Alcock says Kara's struggle with trauma and avoidance resonated with her personality, helping her connect deeply to that role. The story follows Kara as she reluctantly joins young Ruthie on a quest for revenge against the villain creme of the Yellow Hills. Though helping Ruthie confront her own tragedy and protecting Crypto, Supergirl gradually discovers that heroism is about helping others rather than focusing on her own pain. Alcock described the journey as one where Kara learns that saving others ultimately helps save herself. Alcock also discussed the pressures of joining a major franchise after her breakout role in House of the Dragons. She reflected on experiencing online backlash and toxic fandom culture, but said that Kara's story of self-acceptance and healing ultimately left a lasting impact on her. She says, and the backlash from a lot of people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts, or someone's name that and then data4/Christian, which is hilarious to me. But I mean, whose opinion do you really care about? If you're pissing off the right people, you're doing okay.
I have a problem with the last statement, pissing off the wrong people.
Right.
That's
coping. That's coping.
Yeah, that's not her job. Look, I have some simple advice. Just don't read the comments. Do your job. Don't read the comments. Do your job. And your job not only is to be great in the film, which I have no doubt she will be, at least whatever the vision for this character is. She'll do a good job as an actress because we've seen her on House of the Dragon. She's very good. I think the problem is everyone who works on a movie is an ambassador for that film. And you're an ambassador in the sense that you represent it to fans and you want to put your best foot forward. You want nothing but positivity and enthusiasm toward the project. And some of that is like BS and we can like see through that, whatever. But she should, I guess, feel a little grateful. She probably got paid north of a good amount of money. I'd say $1 million plus to pretend in a film that she's a superhero. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, look, I'm grateful to have a YouTube channel where people watch us and like what we do. I'm extremely grateful to everyone watching live or catching clips or that like us. I mean, how crazy is that people like what we do? But like, if you're in something like this, you think she'd be more grateful. And my last point, like, I think what's disappointing and kind of lame about this is people don't really like the take on the character. What we kind of have seen, we've seen less often recently is heroes you can actually look up to the point where I question, does Marvel even know what a hero is? Does DC understand what a hero is? You know, self-sacrifice, even romance that used to be kind of part of every, one of these big stories, where's the romance? My expectation is there's not going to be a romance in this film. So what we've seen of it, we can only judge them based on what we've seen. And I'm very disappointed. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I'm focusing on this one line from the article. Supergirl gradually discovers that heroism is about helping others rather than focusing on her own pain. Gee, I wish that was the message we were getting from all the trailers. I wish that was, if I were to describe this movie, I wish that's the way I would describe this movie. Instead, the whole focus is on this this kind of badass drunken, punk rock girl that is just turning everybody off. And if the message of your movie truly is about heroism and helping others and not focusing on your own pain, they're doing a horrible job selling it. Because I don't blame Millie Alcock for this, because I think she sees the ending. She sees the character from the perspective of knowing what the ending is because she filmed it. And those of us on the other side who just see her on the, I'm a drunken punk rocker, that is the image that we are just not buying into. And so, I think she sees the good in the character, but she's the only one who sees the good in the character. In this case, DC really needs to do a better job as to giving us what this movie really is about. And they're not doing it. They're just saying, look, she's a drunk punk rocker. Accept it. I'm sure you'll love it. Come see our movie.
Well, big question. Could this be Rachel Zegler 2.0?
I don't think so. Because the words free Palestine have not come out of her mouth.
Oh, no. All right. We've got more news stories, and I promise we'll get to your comments. Then we have a lot of reviews. And we will be talking about Mandalorian and Grogu. So let's get to this. Lupita Nyong'o says her character is representative of the world. She is playing Helen of Troy in Christopher Nolan's upcoming The Odyssey. This is from Elle magazine, which did a story. Let me bring it up, Alan, but I know you have notes. Tell me, what did she say in this article?
All right. Well, Lupita Nyong'o says joining Christopher Nolan's adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey was an easy yes, even before she knew which role she would play. After receiving the script from Nolan, she read it in one sitting and immediately committed to the project. Although she had performed some Greek mythology in drama school, Nyong'o admitted she knew very little about the Odyssey beforehand. She quickly immersed herself in the source material, reading the Odyssey and listening to the Iliad as part of the self-described crash course on Greek mythology. Nyong'o will portray both Helen of Troy and her sister Clytemnestra. She described...
Wait, could you repeat that?
Clytemnestra? Is that, am I getting that right?
Is that? Oh my, okay, there you go.
Okay. She described being cast as Helen as a tremendous honor, calling the legendary figure iconic. I was so deeply honored to be entrusted with the role. I mean, she is iconic. Nolan praised Nyong'o's casting. She's saying Helen required both beauty and emotional depth. He highlighted her ability to project strength, poise, and layered emotion, adding that he was absolutely desperate for her to take the role. Nyong'o also pushed back against the notion that Helen can be reduced to her beauty alone. Rather than focusing on Helen as the face that launched 1,000 ships, she approached the character by exploring who she is beneath her appearance. You can't perform beauty. I want to know who this character is, what is beyond beauty, and what is beyond looks. After her casting was announced, some critics questioned the Black actress playing the traditional Greek character. Nyong'o dismissed the controversy, noting that The Odyssey is a mythological story expressing support for Nolan's vision. This is a mythological story. Okay. She praised the film's diverse ensemble cast, arguing that the epic story spans worlds and cultures. Rather than engaging with the criticism, she said she prefers to focus on the larger scope of the project. She ends by saying, it's quite something to be part of the Odyssey because it is so grand. It spans worlds. So that's why the cast is what it is. We're occupying the epic narrative of our time.
Well, look, you cannot blame this actress for taking a job and being cast. I know people will push back when I say that. She has a choice. I think Chris Nolan's vision is that by casting, her, her beauty would be exotic to the Greeks because she is not traditionally what you would think Helen of Troy would look like. And then there are those like Elon Musk who say that Chris Nolan is pandering to get awards. I think the jury is out. I think we need to see the movie before we judge, but it's not looking good. And this kind of we have another related story about Betty Boop and potential race swapping there. But I think the problem is audiences knee-jerk reaction, and you can't blame the audience for feeling this way, that you're pandering when you do this. You're pandering for awards. You're pandering to a progressive audience. And it just, I think, can we get back to traditional storytelling and maybe like not doing this so often. It's kind of like this wasn't even a thing, because when people were cast in roles, you go, well, that's, you know, that actor is the best actor. Morgan Freeman or whoever's a really good actor. It doesn't matter that, you know, in this original story, the character wasn't black. Who cares? And I think people question it now. What are your thoughts, Alan, on this?
Yeah, two things. One is I think I'm gonna give Christopher Nolan the benefit of the doubt, and I'll mention it this way. Remember the movie Megalopolis, put out by Francis Ford Coppola?
Yes. Oh my!
Who spent all of his money to make this movie because he had this dream and this passion to make the movie. He had a vision for it and pretty much put his vision on screen, and then people saw it and thought it was awful. I feel like that's what's going on here. I think Christopher Nolan has this vision of what it is, and you know, yeah, let's make it diverse. Let's do all this stuff because there's this grand vision behind it. And I think that's the approach he's kind of taking here, as opposed to I need to be DEI and woke and all that stuff. But like Francis Ford Coppola, his vision failed, and this vision is equally likely to fail. Now, regarding Lupita Nyong'o's comments, I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Millie Alcock here. She's seeing it from the other side in terms of she's done the performance, she understands what she's gotten herself, or what the character is, and that she sees the character in a way that we haven't because we haven't seen the movie. Does that mean she's right? I mean, ultimately time will tell. But this is one of those, you can't blame the actress because she was offered a role from Christopher Nolan to be in this big epic. And who in their right mind would say no when he wanted to be in the movie? Yeah, but
Nolan, I mean, Oscar winning. I mean, you know, he's a over 50% batting average on his great films. I think that's easily arguable. You know, he's made more better films than he's had more hits than misses.
Right. I think the best I could say is I think this production is misguided. And the guy at the top is misguided unless he truly sees something we're not seeing. And again, publicity, I don't know what's been happening to Hollywood publicity lately, but they are just not selling these movies right. And they're the ones who are actually causing all these conversations to occur. And then the final comment about this is an epic mythology. So therefore it belongs to the world. And so therefore we can make it diverse. And I mean, look, yeah, I guess you could have cast Mulan as a white woman or a gay black man or a trans man. I don't know. But you know, sometimes stories from certain cultures need to be a story from that culture. And I just, you know, this is our way of talking ourselves into a casting decision that is going to be problematic. And so there you go.
Well, I'll just repeat what you told me privately. It all comes down to, does she get naked in the movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I think that's the 180 turnaround to say, no, this is a true masterpiece.
Okay. In a related story, Quinta Brunson to develop and star in Betty Boop. This is very unusual because Betty Boop is coming into the public domain. I had a film producer, indie film producer, friend of mine, won't say who. He's looking for scripts for a Betty Boop inspired horror movie because Betty Boop is coming into the public domain. So this is very weird. Quentin Brunson to develop and star in Betty Boop, a feature film from Fifth Chance Productions and Fleischer Studios. Now it's odd when I've seen pictures of her. She does have the kind of round face, those big eyes. Like she actually does. Maybe if you light her in a certain way, she can pass for Betty Boop. But I think that people have kind of grown tired of all this. Matt Walsh, who, by the way, Matt Walsh did a video recently about Star Wars. Did you know that you and I are featured in the video?
Yes, I
Alan?
saw it.
Okay,
I need to do better on these out of the theater reactions.
Yeah, same. I come out. I was like tired, exasperated, annoyed, and then Matt Walsh clips us, uses us in his Star Wars video. That's you can look it up on his channel. But he had a response that I think. Just take a look at this. Can you read this, Alan? I'll blow it up. Here.
Yeah. There's only one reason to bring back an iconic piece of Americana, just to race swap it like this. Even a faithful Betty Boop reboot probably wouldn't sell many tickets. A race swap Betty Boop has absolutely no chance of success, but they do it anyways out of spite. They aren't even trying to make money anymore. It's pure resentment.
Yeah, and this was from Discussing Film, which I may be blocked. Maybe that's why that didn't show up. What do you think about this? Look, I actually looked up Betty Boop cartoons. This is months ago, and was talking to my friend about what would make, because I have friends of mine that are indie filmmakers that make low budget movies. They'll call me up and say, do you know anyone who has a script, a horror script? It takes place in one location at a house on a lake. Do you know anyone? And I don't know. So my buddy was asking me, for a horror script that could be like a Betty Boop movie. We've had Popeye the Slayer Man and an award this winning movie. I really don't care about Betty Boop. I think Quinta Brunson kind of looks like her, but audiences, I think, are immediately turned off knowing it's a race swap. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah. I mentioned on X that, the comment I made was because of course we have to do this. We've got to. This is not a surprise. This was going to happen. So I decided, because I was getting pushback on my comments, I decided to do a little bit of research. Betty Boop was inspired by white Broadway star Helen Kane, who culturally appropriated the character from black jazz singer Baby Esther. So it was a white woman who stole the act of Baby Esther. In fact, she was sued for it by Baby Esther for stealing her act and making it. Which makes me think, well, so when Amos and Andy came out on the radio, portrayed by two white men, but when the TV series came out, they swapped it to black men as appropriate. So therefore, it's okay now. It's like people didn't accept Amos and Andy, by finally casting them as black men. I don't think that, the logic just doesn't play here. And then to your point, who cares? Am I going to spend money on this? Do people these days remember Betty Boop? Who is she? Can you tell me who she is?
Well,
Can you tell me what made her famous? I'm not talking you specifically, but I'm talking about people under 40.
Right.
What was the attraction for you?
Speaking of Amos and Andy, I used to watch that when I was a kid. I thought it was really funny. It was just two guys trying to come up with some way to make money, always pulling some. Kingfish was it's the whole thing. They should do an Amos and Andy reboot starring Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe. That would be, think about that. That could be
or
really
better
good.
yet, make it animated. The characters are black and it's voiced by Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe.
Before we get to your comments and our reviews for today, Dave Filoni says there will be infinite possibilities for Star Wars. I don't know. I kind of saw the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I don't know if that's true. This is from a post here on Discussing Film. Let me get to it, Alan. I'll share it with you. We'll just go to this quick. Dave Filoni says there will be infinite possibilities. I'm looking forward to bringing a lot of these ideas and visions to the fans. Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen it. Here's a clip here.
Over the years, I've been able to grow the concept of how I create stories.
Wait, let me. How about?
I know what is that?
And over the years, I've been able to grow
Yeah,
the
just leave it
concept
like
of
that.
how I create stories in Star Wars, not just from George, from Kathy, working with John. It's really allowed me to evolve. I think the most critical element was getting involved in live action, which Kathy really backed and brought me along. And John, that was just so crucial to really understand not just, the Star Wars galaxy, but producing these type of films, because they have to be, great when we put them out. There's just no, I'm a fan myself. I understand the pressure, and I look forward to it. But, all I can say is I love telling Star Wars stories in any medium. And I've always been amazed at how infinite the possibilities seem to be, not just for the medium, but the types of stories we can tell. I'm looking forward to, bringing.
All right.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. By the way, they just announced the new Disney Plus series, Trapper Wolf.
First of all, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me. We have so much to get to today. I'm going to gloss over this. We're going to talk about it more on Versus. Let's get to the people. We'll start with Soup.
Let the people speak.
Yes.
Yes. Pookie Malibu for 10. Now watch The Asylum's Master of the Universe.
Oh my God. That would be Pookie Malibu. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I want to master my universe.
I want Asylum's version of everything. Thank you. Very generous.
Nick Gore for 2. Gong me.
Oh,
look at that.
Want me to gong you?
Nick.
I gotta find the.
I mean, I swear, Nick is your long lost brother.
We do look alike. Thank you, Nick Gore. I love when you see Nick Gore turn up in other streams that I'm also watching. It's very fun.
Yes. Yeah, 91 Moon Knight for 2. Sydney Sweeney as Supergirl, 1 billion guaranteed. Yes.
That would be huge. I mean, it'd be
they
would be huge.
Mellow for 5. Do you think it's marketing research that's killing trailers and maybe movies? Is Gen Z just a different animal, or is it a studio hubris? I think we proved in a recent news item we did that Gen Z is just like you and me. That they like good stories, and that the good stories of the past resonate with them more than what people think are Gen Z good stories.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, Brownhole for 2. Nolan feminized the shark before jumping it.
Thanks, Harry Brownhole.
Indie Shade for 2. Why doesn't she make a Baby Esther movie? I mean, that would be a more interesting story of a woman who got her who got her axe stolen. And go ahead.
It's just, here's what's annoying about that. And we'll talk about it more on Versus, because I want to discuss this with many opinions. When you race swap, you preventing great stories about black people in real life from being made. You just are. Go to the source. You're right, Indie Shade. Go to the source.
And believe me, that's a more interesting story than Betty Boop.
100%. 100%. So,
right. Is that it?
Wait. There is a trailer for Asylum's Master of the Universe. Oh, save it for Monday. We will do it Monday. We'll do a group trailer reaction.
Yeah, it's a Memorial Day show, so we've got time.
Yeah. There's not going to be a lot of news, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, Nerd Cookies. I can't believe Alan is about to turn 40. Oh, bless your heart.
Thanks, Nerd Cookies. Subscribe to her channel.
Christopher Moonlight Productions, 40 years ago. Oh, when I was born. No one making comic book style properties is able to get over The Watchmen. We're in the doldrums forever, it seems.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Christopher Moonlight, it looks as if we got our panel approved at San Diego.
Hey,
I can't speak much about it, but we'll be doing an indie film panel at Comic-Con. We're going to show video. It's going to be a masterclass. And Chris, if you can get to San Diego, I got a badge for you.
Yeah, see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. when
no, it's actually Friday at the library at 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you read the thing I posted in River?
No, I've been
It's
watching Ladies First all morning.
Oh my God.
Davina Duckworth. Vought was the name of several related American aerospace firms. These have included in the past Lewis and Vought Corporation, Chance Vought, Vought Sikorsky, LTV Aerospace. So yeah, Lewis and Trump. Chance,
Right.
Trump. Garth Knight returns. Battlecat, better effing talk in this. Plus, they got Brian May for some of the music. And so far, what I've listened to, I'm optimistic about the film.
Yeah, I think people are going to read too much into it, and it'll be annoying.
I think if it's not woke, it'll do well.
Yeah.
You buy now. Does it have a baby battle cat? Goo goo.
Yes, exactly. Another wait.
MK Solid. They're doubling down with the race swaps. That's what's happening. I don't know that they're doubling down. It just seems to be yet another and another.
Yeah. Thanks, MK Solid.
It's okay not to laugh for 5. An AI film called Hellgrind with a budget of $500 million was presented at Cannes. Thoughts?
Haven't seen it. We'll look for it, and if it gets a commercial release, we will discuss it.
Plus, if you made an AI film for $500 million, I think you spent too much.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. Thank you.
Moon Knight. Helen Troy got chlamydia. Is that the Trojan horse?
It is.
Well, in that case, they didn't use the Trojan horse. Sons and Shadowcast, your job to put butts in seats and act. Yes.
Well, I like your butt. That
Your butt
just stood out.
The 007 Anakin Film Threat showed up with the out of the theater review of Mando and Guac on the Matt Walsh show yesterday. Then he declared Star Wars is dead and Disney killed it.
Well, It's good to see him catch up with what a lot of people have been saying for years.
And just how powerful our out of the theater reviews are.
Exactly. That one got a lot of views, but there weren't many at the time. So it's all good. It's all good. The whole ecosystem. And I appreciate, he did say Film Threat. He didn't say our names. I don't think he knows them, but that's all right. Yeah. It's okay.
Because it's funny because after all these screenings, the first words out of our mouths is, do we really need to do it out of the theater review?
That's what we say. We're looking at each other after it was so late. We're both exhausted. You had driven for like 3 hours.
I know. And then, we were at the City Walk at Universal Studios and like, well, where do we do it?
Yeah, well, one thing you did not spot in that video was enthusiasm. So, hey, it's time to review movies, Alan, and we have a lot of them, including Mandalorian and Grogu. We'll talk spoilers. And we also have an interview coming up in about 40 minutes. So let's try to get through these reviews. Let's start with one that you saw that I did not see, and that's In the Gray. I did see the trailer for this, and I was intrigued by the cast.
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yes. Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal. I was going to see it, and then you saw it, and you had words with me.
Yes.
Tell me about In the Gray and give are you recommending it or not?
I'm not recommending it.
Oh, well, why?
But there's a unique reason. This movie is unlike any other.
All right.
I'll open by just saying this movie, if you have attention deficit disorder, this movie was made for you. In fact, it was honed and tailored specifically for the ADD crowd. And I'll explain why. Let's get to the plot real quick. Bobby, played by Rosamund Pike, is a Wall Street banking executive. She hires Rachel, played by Isa Gonzalez, to recover $1 billion she loaned to a criminal dictator, Manny Salazar. Rachel agrees to the deal, provided that she gets 20% commission when she brings the money back. And she has a very special team. It's Sid and Bronco, played by Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal. See, the thing here is that this is a dangerous mission because it is a criminal dictator who owns an island, and she has to go to that island to negotiate the banking terms, knowing full well that she could get killed. And so she hires Sid and Bronco to basically figure out a way that when she's on the island to get off of the island. And so the first half of the movie is about the plan. And there are 3 contingency plans. And we go through all 3 of those plans. And then when the actual transaction occurs, you figure out what plan they take and how to improvise. Now here's the thing. I'll use the movie Ocean's 11 as the example. You know the part in Ocean's 11 where they discuss the plan, they talk about the plan, and then they show visuals as to the boys executing that plan and how it all works out perfectly. Yep. You know what I'm talking about.
It's a trope. I'm familiar.
Yeah, it's a trope. Now pretend that segment where they're talking about the plan and you're seeing the plan, pretend that's the entire movie. Pretend that everything that occurs in this movie is being voiced over by people talking about the plan and then them actually executing the plan. I told you there are 3 contingency plans on getting her off the island. Well, they actually practice all 3 contingency plans, and they're talking about, the things they see and the things they have to do. And then they talk about, the whole corporate intrigue of it. And then when they're actually doing the rescue part of it, they're just talking about it. It's as if they took a 6-hour movie and then just gave you all the highlights of the movie, because it's like, there's a part where they're going down a zip line. And so rather than, I got to hook up the zip line. Okay, let's go down. Okay, now you get on, okay. Oh no, but this time there's a hiccup. Imagine taking that sequence and then just cutting it only to the action and then having a voiceover talk about it. Like I said, this movie is for the ADD. And if you watch this movie, you will become ADD.
Well, I was intrigued because of the cast, and it was short, 90 minutes. So
they took a 6-hour movie, cut out all the extraneous bits, and put it into 90 minutes.
How does a cast this good, Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, end up so bad? It feels like schedules lined up, there was a script lying around, and they decided, let's make
we need to cut the script down.
Exactly.
Because can you imagine you're doing these stunt sequences, these elaborate stunt sequences, and all they do is show you the good bits. So there's not a lot of like I said, your brain is just going to go on overload. And it's a Guy Ritchie movie. Everyone's got this swagger to them, like I'm the best. So there you go. It's just, I think either mistakes were made making this movie and that they had too much, or it was an experiment and the experiment failed.
So you don't recommend this?
I don't recommend it.
Let's go to comments. We're going to do limited comments today because we have so much to get to. So fewer comments between, and I apologize for that.
Okay, Oliver Lavery Frog. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con too. Would be good to see you there. Yeah, come to our panel.
Come to our panel 10 a.m. on Friday. We'll be there. Thanks,
and
Oliver.
we will be doing signings over.
Oh yeah, at a booth. Game. We'll announce that. It's too early, but we'll announce it.
But it'll be what we did the last 2 years. The Gist with Jared. Pretty misleading trailer for In the Gray, in my opinion. Like it, but it should have leaned into the action. In fact, the trailer, you could just take a scene from the movie and that's your trailer. Because it's structured like trailers. Tim is not funny. In the Gray is a polish up, dirty work done quick and clean by Guy Ritchie. Cavill and Gyllenhaal command the screen with efficient, assured confidence, both suave and grizzled, a menacing, charming duo. But again, all you see are the good bits. Okay, Bill S. Preston in the Cliff Notes
instead of In the Gray.
Yeah,
I got it. That's good. Let me review a film now, Alan. You did not see.
I did not see this.
You tend to not see the horror films. I see them, and occasionally there'll be a horror film that I could recommend to you.
Yeah, I hate this trailer. I hate the trailer.
Yeah, this is not one of those. This is definitely not one of those. The movie stars Jacob Scipio and Lou Lobel. They have adopted the van life. They're a young couple. He proposes to her. They're going to get married. They go off. They've got a Bob Ross bobblehead on their dashboard, and they take off in a van. They've left the 9-to-5 life behind. They're doing van life. Now, they're not really monetizing it at all, but they're living in a van, going town to town, living that life. Free and clear. And they come upon a car accident, a horrible car accident. It has a symbol. It sort of looks like a clawed mark, like three diagonal lines, which they come to learn in the lore of living on the road is a warning. And that warning means you got to follow certain rules, which is basically never drive at night, and you don't stop for anyone in some kind of accident like this. What's the dumb thing is, and like a good horror film, horror films almost depend upon people being stupid. No one is more stupid than the two lead actors or lead characters in this movie, because all they're doing is making incredibly stupid mistakes. They meet up with a group of people at a Burning Van, a little clever play on Burning Man, where they meet other van life people, including a van life guy who's a big YouTuber. I don't know. I love YouTube. I don't know how I feel about YouTube being sort of seeping in the reality of storytelling. I know it's a real thing, but whatever. In any case, the movie it gets to a point where the couple is being attacked by this passenger, hence the name of the movie, who shows up attacking them, trying to kill them. And then come to find out that the only way really to beat this curse of this guy that's it very much feels like It Follows in some parts. It's inspired by that. They have to get to a church, and the church will somehow repel this demon that ends up constantly harassing them wherever they go. If they just followed the rules, they wouldn't have the threat of death looming over them. This is a horror feature that should have been a short film. The fact that we've only got two leads, like, what are they going to do? Kill them both? You know, at least in something like a Jason movie, you introduce 8 people. They're all going to die except for the final girl. They die in clever ways. There's really only a couple kills in this whole movie. It's a colossal disappointment. I cannot recommend Passenger, which came from Paramount of all places. The studio that brought us Smile. This is a streaming movie at best that story-wise is so thin, should have been a short film. Avoid The Passenger like the plague. And there you have it.
Yeah. I bet you Paramount didn't spend a lot of money on it.
Well, it was a thin budget, that's for sure.
Yeah. Obsession is a masterpiece. Chris, how much are you sweating during Passenger?
I didn't sweat at all. I was bored. But thank you. Obsession is a masterpiece. Obsession is great.
Skeleton King for 2. Saw a pre-screening of this movie. Hope it's better.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Hey, before we get to Mango and Grok, let's review a film you and I have both seen, Alan. You got up at 6 a.m. I was up at 6:30. We fired up Netflix to watch Sacha Baron Cohen and Rosamund Pike in Ladies First. This is a movie, I'll describe it to you. This is a movie that looks like it was written in 2017, and it feels so much, it feels dated. Sacha Baron Cohen plays an executive, an ad executive at a company. They're pitching an account to Guinness. That's Guinness, the beer. And Rosamund Pike is a lowly kind of creative person at the company who Sasha's character elevates her now, gives her a big promotion simply because there are no women in the C-suite, the leadership suite. It's just for optics, not because she earned it. He's a complete a-hole. He's banging broads, being a jerk. He shuts down Rosamund Pike in a meeting and kind of embarrasses her while the men are coming up with campaigns for Guinness beer. And then after she ends up leaving the job, she quits the job. He chases her out, bumps his head, and the world turns topsy-turvy. It used to be a world where men are a-holes, and now we've switched to a world where basically women are masculine and a-holes. He looks around, he sees a side of an ad that says Burger Queen with a sexy man. The world is now, it's a world where women rule. And guess what? They're just as big an a-holes as men were in the other world. And it's one of those fantasy movies that's kind of like Groundhog's Day, where a fantastical things happens that a person is meant to learn a lesson so they can undo the trap that they are in. So the cast is also rounded out by Charles Danko, who plays an executive. Emily Mortimer is actually Sacha Baron Cohen's sister.
Sorry, that's Charles Dance, by the way.
I get Charles Dance. What did I say?
Danko.
Sorry. Danko. What was I do? Hey, I gotta get my eyes checked. Richard E. Grant plays a guy covered in pigeons and bird poop who's been trapped in this world forever, who says, well, the only way to get out is to learn a lesson. This movie actually expresses out loud what it's trying to say. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but who cares? It's a streaming movie. This is going to be really poorly rated. It's one of the ending of the movie. Two characters look at the screen and actually express the theme of the movie out loud to the audience watching the movie, admonishing them for having bad thoughts. Here's why this movie isn't funny and maybe the least funny movie of the year. Because it's not true. Women have a lot more opportunities now.
You mean you saying that women run corporations today?
I'm saying
what world are you living in?
I'm saying that bad behavior by men is mostly called out, and there are consequences for that. The movie isn't funny because the premise it supposes is a lie. And what we know about comedy, you know more than I do, Alan. Comedy is rooted in truth. Yeah. This is one of the worst films of the year, written at a time when they probably got this movie finished and thought, what the hell are we going to do with this? Deservedly never came out in theaters. Very smart. It's being thrown on Netflix. The trailer came out only a month ago. God awful, avoid like the plague, not even worth folding my laundry to. And by the way, I really like Richard E. Grant, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Rosamund Pike. I really like all those actors. Why they agreed to do this, I don't know. Alan, what did you think?
What I think, I mentioned it before. If you don't buy into the plot of the movie, you're doomed. Yeah, and that's me going into this. This is just basically, look, let's be brutally honest. This movie was made by women, and they just sat around the table saying, "This is why we hate men. Let's make a movie about it." And they put everything they hate about men into it, because all men are like this. Every single one of us are like this. We are just crass people who are obsessed with boobs. Okay, that's every man. But you know, it's just, you know, again, as you say, it's not true. And I bring up this example all the time, but when 9 to 5 came out, the reason that movie resonated was because that was actually happening at the time. There was that glass ceiling. There were women who couldn't get out of the office pool, who couldn't go beyond supervisory positions, you know, and that they were being sexually harassed. This was, you know, we're talking the early 80s, late 70s at that point. And so the reason that movie worked is because it resonated as true. Now, can you imagine trying to remake 9 to 5 today? Because this is the problem with sorry to get political here with the left, is they can't admit the fact that we've advanced over the decades, that the world for women is vastly different today than it was in the late 70s and before that. And I think that's the problem, and that's the main problem that we have with this world, is that we can't acknowledge the advancements we've made in race, in gender, in equality. No, we have to go back to Jim Crow. You know, we're not going back to the 70s. We're going back to the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and beyond. And that's why these things don't work, and that's why people don't resonate with it. And, you know, the other thing is, you know, look, I'm going to just break it to you. There are differences between men and women, both biologically, from a physiological standpoint, from an emotional, from a mental standpoint. We're different, but somehow I think if you put these differences together, they somehow complement each other, and you could actually rule the world with that kind of a combination.
Well, and let me get to if I made a top 10 list of the most insufferable movies of the year, this would be all 10. Mm-hmm. This is, if the point is, the whole thing is a critique of bad male behavior, and you can't ignore that doesn't actually exist. It does. Is it the large percentage of men? No, it's a small group of men that still engage in behavior like this. Yes, it exists. Could you make a movie called Men First that is a critique of female behavior? And men are constantly, I love when it's like, women we want to be equal with men and have all the male jobs. Okay, how many female plumbers are there? How many female garbage men, electricians, welders? I'm sure they exist, but they only want certain kinds of jobs. How about men's rights when it comes to things like divorce? Something I know about. Other areas where men get the short end of the stick in so many ways when it comes to rates of ending your own life, among other things. Mm-hmm. Like, there's this whole thing, you could not do the reverse. If a movie like this could ever be truly honest about what's happening in the world, you probably couldn't even make it. So I don't think you need to, no surprise here, I don't recommend it. I don't think you recommend it, Alan. No. And it shows how tone deaf, out of touch, because I do think that things that resonate in the zeitgeist, they do because they're true. And if something isn't resonating or performs badly, it's probably because it's rooted in a lie. And I call BS worst comedy of the year.
Yeah, I'll give one positive about Ladies First, and that the trailer is perfect because it lays out exactly what you're in for. There were no surprises when I started watching this movie.
It doesn't misrepresent the movie.
No, it doesn't. Beautiful. I wish Hollywood would make more trailers like this.
Let's go to comments, and then we'll get to Mango.
Okay.
Oh my God, we have a lot of comments here. I didn't expect all this.
Yeah. Axel's Abode, member for 21 months. Anyone seen the new Jack Ryan film on Prime? Is it a film or is it a series?
It's a film, I believe.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. The Skeleton King for 2. So it's a movie with subtle themes and lessons.
Very subtle. Thanks for the 2.
Lord Khan for 2. It's even worse than Mando Grogu.
Yes.
GG.
Yes, Lord Comet. It's worse.
Films End JT for $4.99. Fuck Passenger, The Hitcher, baby. Top Gun 40th in IMAX took my breath away. You gonna give us a review?
If we have time to see it, unfortunately, Films End, we are going to see. There's so many movies being released. I can't see all the movies that were released this week. Even between the two of us, we're not seeing all the movies. So I want to see a movie recreationally that I want to see. So
yeah, a low comment for 2. In my opinion, girl boss movies should never happen.
Yeah, it's awful. This is the pinnacle girl boss movie.
Moon Knight for 5. Would Ladies First be a better movie if it was a world of Sydney Sweeney's and one Allen?
I would watch that.
Yeah, I know. I would be sexually harassed to death, and I'd love it.
Oh shit! I missed that. Okay, no.
What?
Go ahead. Nothing.
Okay. Olo Lee Kui. Gosh, how original! Another sex swap movie that posits a scenario that defies all biological and psychological realities with no justification whatsoever, other than fantasy.
Yeah.
Look, what women want. I think that's the best one. It's not really a gender swap thing, but it does deal with.
He can read women's minds.
Yeah. And I thought that was well done.
A much better movie because he could hear how they felt.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot more. Did you see Is God Is, Alan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we have like 4 more things to review, and we have an interview coming up in 15 minutes. So we're going to do a longer show today, folks. But let's get to it. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. Let's discuss it. And this is going to be a spoiler review. Let me tell you all the spoilers, but let me set this up. Alan, please correct me if I forget anything or add to it. Mandalorian and Grogu begins with the Mandalorian and his sidekick Grogu, imbued with force powers, out to take out some Imperial baddies on a deck of cards, hired by Sigourney Weaver's character, basically Kathleen Kennedy. And they go on this adventure, and you're concerned. Are they going to die? They're not.
What?
We know they're not going to kill Grogu. They're not going to kill the Mandalorian. And let me clear a few things. So the movie begins with them as this pair, and then they go off and have an adventure. You know what ends up? They end up fine. What do they encounter along the way? Well, there are no cameos. Luke, Han, and Leia, although they're around during this period of time, no cameos from them, no cameos from any other characters from the OT. The only cameos include creatures. There is a creature in the background of Jabba the Hutt's palace that plays a role, and there are creatures from the chessboard game that C-3PO and Chewbacca played in the original Star Wars that are actually in a fight scene with Rada the Hutt. Your cameos are obscure creatures.
No. Trapper Wolf.
No one cares when the diversity pilots show up. It's literally the diversity X-Wing pilots show up. The movie, like a TV show, ends where it begins. They go on an adventure. They come back fine. Are they changed? No. They are not changed from the experience. And let me tie this back to why this is important. When Star Wars became wildly successful, and George Lucas was coming up with the story for The Empire Strikes Back, he knew that the audience would not believe that Luke Skywalker was ever in danger of getting killed or dying in The Empire Strikes Back. So he made the main conflict of The Empire Strikes Back in the duel with Darth Vader was not about, because Darth was toying with him. It wasn't about, will Luke die? It was about, could Luke be turned from the light side to the dark side? Could he be turned to evil? He didn't believe audiences were smart, and he thought they're not going to believe that we would ever kill Luke. So this lightsaber duel is pointless. It's pointless. That's why all the lightsaber duels in the sequel films are bad. There are no stakes. Okay. So because he knew that, he made the duel with Darth Vader at the end of Empire about something else, because he knew the audience didn't believe, well, Luke's never going to die. He's the main character of the story. So he added other things. The fact that something could happen to Han Solo. Yeah, he was very cognizant about the audience's intelligence. This movie is not only made for kids, it's made for single-digit age kids. No stakes and low stakes, and nothing happens. It ends where it begins. No cameos of note. If you're paying attention, you'll notice these creatures from the chessboard. And I saw it, by the way, I saw it a second time last night.
You saw it more than Rise of Skywalker, you're saying?
I saw it one more time than Rise of Skywalker. I saw it again, and I saw it in Screen X. So now you've got the screen on the sides, which I found distracting. Can I just say something? The audience kind of loved it. It was a lot of kids, and they clapped. I almost feel like there was some special screening with that they maybe did a ticket giveaway. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. But the audience, like, actually really was enthusiastic. But I looked around, it's like, this is a bunch of kids. I heard there were some mild claps. I still think this movie is going to bomb. And when it comes to spoilers, there's nothing to spoil because nothing happens.
Nothing matters.
No stakes. I don't know how you feel about this, Alan, but I compare this to Empire, and you can look up quotes from George Lucas where he talks about how important it was for Empire to change things up in this. So what do you think, and what do you have to add, based on our non-spoiler review?
Yeah. I mean, what have I been telling you about this movie? It's for kids. So there should be no surprise that the kids in your theater like this movie. In terms of there is a character arc. There's growth in the character, and that character is Grogu. This movie is all about finally Grogu is on his own and has to rescue Mando. That's the growth. That's the whole point of this movie, to see Grogu on his own. And again, kids love that. Kids will eat that up. The other thing is the stakes. My biggest problem with this movie is the stakes. The reality is if Mando and Grogu failed this mission that they're on in this movie, it has zero impact on the New Republic whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stakes. Look, I got into it with people on X about this specific point. It's like, I don't care. My movies don't have to have stakes, but the thing is this is based on a TV series. The TV series can have low stakes because you're going episode to episode. Each episode can have low stakes because those low stakes build up to something larger. But when you make a movie and you force us to spend $20 to $30 to see the movie, your movie better have stakes if it's based on that TV series. The greatest example I can give you is Star Trek, and why the even-numbered Star Treks are better than the odd-numbered Star Trek movies. The reason is the even-numbered Star Trek movies had stakes. You had Wrath of Khan. You had the one with the whale. Undiscovered Country.
Voyage Home.
Yeah. But and this is true with the Next Generation. You start, number one was Generations. The next one was First Contact. That had stakes in it. The problem is the movies that succeeded were the ones that felt like a movie that was broader and bigger than the series, while the ones that failed were basically episodes of that TV show, but on screen.
Bingo. What you just said.
Mm-hmm.
That's yes, this is an episode of it's an episode on the big screen. Nothing happens. I think about what could have happened. There could have been, yes, it would be pandering and terrible and AI and bullshit. They could have recast Han, Luke, and Leia, had them interact. He could have discovered the Journal of the Wills, deep cut. The rumor was the Wills were the race that Yoda is. Yoda is a race of alien being. Because of their long lifespan, they're like the watcher of the Star Wars universe. They keep track of what's happening. From the Journal of the Wills, the adventures of Luke Skywalker, they could have discovered the planet where the Wills are from. It's a race of, and then it comes down to, he could have found baby Grogu's parents.
Mhm.
He could have discovered, anything could have happened that added or changed things. Nothing happened. Inconsequential. It ends where it begins. Like every episode of every TV show ever ends where it begins.
Right.
I'm talking about
Look,
sitcoms mostly.
this should have been simple. Something is about to take down the Republic, and Mando and Grogu have to stop it. That's where you start, and then you build from there. But in this one, it's just another episode.
It's 100%. These were scripts that were rehashed and cobbled together into
And given better special effects. Let's be real.
That terrible stuff with Rada the Hutt wrestling.
Oh my
Other
God.
two, it was laughable, dude. I mean, I sat there suffering. I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching this.
Yeah.
But it was a packed audience who seemed to like it. I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
But it's
Again,
for single digit age kids, not even for kids, single digit aged.
Yeah.
It's for
Look,
little kids.
This has enough action to pacify kids. That's why I recommend it. It's like, if you have kids, take it, they'll have a good time. And because of that, it will make a lot of money. It won't make Star Wars kind of money, but I would venture to bet that it'll make its money back.
For me, this isn't even worth subbing to Disney Plus to watch it when it's on there in 45 days or whatever. If this is the return to Star Wars, this is a colossal disappointment.
Well, this is not a return to Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars.
It's not gonna make little kids say, "Oh, I've got to watch the original movies."
Yeah, well, will little kids have a good time watching it? Probably. Will they be able to stand the 2 hour and 12-minute running time?
Maybe.
I usually look at a movie like, what's the boring part? I can run to the bathroom and come back. It's this whole movie. I could leave at any point, come back, and nothing will have happened. And that's where we are with Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I think kids will lock in on the Grogu mission, his solo mission.
That is the only thing I found remotely entertaining, because it reminded me of Jim Henson puppets.
Yeah.
And the Muppet Show. It's where Grogu goes off on a little kind of, Mando disappears, and it ends up being this weird sort of Grogu on his own adventure. That was the most interesting part in a dull movie. Let's go to comments.
All right. And we do have a guest.
We're going to get right to our guest after comments.
Royce and Bailey for 2.
Very patient. I can see his face in the digital green room. Hey, how's it going?
Usually say that to notify the person in the green room that we haven't forgotten about it.
We didn't forget. We're just like,
and that we're gonna get to him.
You gotta do a show
after we do comments. Royce and Bailey for 2, the Blandalorian and Borgu.
Well, there you go. That's a great title. Thanks for the 2.
Von Max, member for 14. My friend and I both fell asleep during Mando. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of. Did you wake up? You didn't miss a thing. I promise.
Sometimes we just need to sleep. Lord Khan for 2, Mando Huarian and Gropo.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh,
that's going to be the Axel Braun XXX version.
Ron Charman for 5. The imagination for the typography on the opening card for the Mandalorian Grogu was amazing. What font is that? Cap Lock Arial? LOL.
I love Arial as a font.
I know. Better than Dingbats. Helio Computer for 2 stocks. Stakes lead to mistakes. They have no guts.
Agreed.
Tim is not funny. The Mandalorian Grogu is a fine extension of the TV series, but falls short of the grandeur needed to justify a leap on the big screen. Yes, it looks and sounds great in 3D IMAX, and has good action and amazing creature effects.
I will say, Rod of the Hunt looked weird, but I will say that the kids that were at the movie enjoyed it. This is as family a film as Star Wars is ever going to get.
Better than the Skeleton Crew.
So if you are a family living in America who can afford to go to the movies with the entire family, this one's for you. And there you go. Wow, this turned out to be a big show today. We have more review. We'll probably still talk about Mando and Grogu. We have reviews coming up. I Love Boosters, Is God Is, an early review. Alan and I have seen Spider-Noir with Nick Cage, so don't leave. But right now, we love to do this. We love to feature independent filmmakers, and the Hellgate filmmaker, DJ Remark, hopefully I pronounced that right, is here with us today. Let's talk to him about his movie, which is like, I believe it's out now. Let's go. Hey, DJ.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What's going on? Is it DJ Remark?
Yes, you can pronounce it any way you want. It's a German last name, believe it or not. But you can pronounce
what's the
it any way
correct
you want.
pronunciation?
It's Remark. I'm not going to correct you over it. It's, honestly,
It's probably
Please
Remark.
correct me.
That was my
No, it's all
it
good.
it can be either, whatever you want.
Got it. So your movie is The Hellgate. Tell us
That's
about
it.
it.
Yeah, sure. So the Hellgate, it's out on Amazon and Blu-ray right now. So unfortunately, it's not streaming free anywhere yet. But it is a contemporary film about 2 girls who have a YouTube channel. Chris, you said that you just love that in films now. It's about 2 girls.
Reality.
It is. It's about 2 girls who have a YouTube channel about horror movies and metal music. Problem is, nobody is watching. They try a couple of gimmicks. Nothing really works. And then one night, they drunkenly trespass into a graveyard and accidentally capture footage of a ghost. They upload the footage to their channel. The video goes viral, and their haunting begins.
Nice. Now, you mentioned it's on Blu-ray. Our audience is all about, like, it's something on Blu-ray. They love stuff like that. They love. What made you put it out on Blu-ray and then it's on Amazon on its video on demand?
Yeah, it's on Amazon VOD right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I love Blu-ray. I'm a physical media junkie.
Well, I am too, and I am the audience. So I've been following, you guys, and I've been part of what people are looking for in films for a long, long time. And it was only back in 2020 that I decided I want to make movies. And so this is what I started to do. And I've noticed after researching just a lot of what's trending, especially in the horror community, especially in the indie community, is physical media. It is Blu-ray. People are collecting. They want to own their movies. And so I was like, I'm going to make a Blu-ray of this. And that's what I did. So it's just basically following the wants of the audience. And like, I try to think to myself, well, what do I want? And, I want a Blu-ray. So I'm going to put one out there. So that's it.
Sweet. I'm a fan. Are there extras on the Blu-ray?
No, because I had to author this Blu-ray myself, and that is difficult. So what we did, or what I did, I should say, is I made a Patreon account where if you buy a copy of the Blu-ray, there's going to be a QR code that takes you to the Patreon, and I'm going to have all about the special features and stuff like that up there. And if you didn't buy a Blu-ray but just want to be a member of the Patreon, you can do that as well.
That's cool.
But so that's where it's going to be.
Now, what inspired this? Obviously, I mean, something with YouTubers and horror, and I watch actually specifically YouTubers that cover horror. That's their specialty. So that exists. That's a thing. Ghosts, I'm not sure. Ghosts, I'm not sure, but that ghost hunting is a huge genre.
It is,
Ghost
and
hunting.
we have an antagonist in the film who is somebody who tries to disprove the existence of the paranormal and becomes an antagonist for the girls. But the inspiration really, again, was just, I was thinking about, well, what movies do I like? What do I want to watch? And this was it. Just something that is that's fun, that's a little bit scary. I would definitely say it's a starter horror film. We're not I don't think we're breaking any records or anything here, but I think there's something for everybody in this, which, could be a risk. But again, it's gotten pretty good reception, and I loved making it. I love watching it. And that's what it is. That was the inspiration. What do I like? What do I want to watch? It's got a lot in it.
Well, we've got the trailer right here. Let's share it with our audience right now.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
I still don't understand why we can't grow our sub count. It's been 6 months.
We're cute and heavy metal and horror. Who doesn't want to watch that?
My employers have a keen interest in this property in particular. They think it's a unique location.
They sent somebody out here a few years ago to close the place. They're talking about opening it back up now?
Well, there may have been some oversight in the previous inspection.
Let me take a picture. Right now? It'll be good for the podcast. Here, let me get that headset behind you.
So there was just a person in the graveyard with us last night.
Stacy, this is a ghost.
You're trying to commune with the dead.
I'm not seeing shit, Stacy. Shit's happening to me.
I'm starting to think that Lillian and I are being haunted.
You shouldn't be here! It's starting to feel just like the band all over again.
You want to explain to me what we just did?
There's something going on in that graveyard.
I've warned you over and over again, and you still wouldn't stay the hell away from here.
I need to know if what I'm seeing is real or not.
Sweet.
I got to ask you, where did you get your graveyard?
It's a graveyard here in Jacksonville Beach. It's I forget, H. Warren something. Graveyard. I always forget off the top of my head, but that's what it is. I just I wrote a letter to the city or email and was like, hey, we're shooting a movie. We'd like to use this graveyard. Can we? And they were like, well, what are you going to do? And we were like, yeah, just nothing special. Just making a little movie. We'll be in and out 3 days. And they were like, all right, yeah, fine. so yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. So
reasons why Florida is better than California.
One of the reasons we could definitely use some more state incentives here for films. This making indie films here is is rough, but we did it.
Well, a couple things. We're looking at the website. bloodscribecreations.com is the website. Correct. You've got trailer, merch. You can get the Hellgate Blu-ray here. I got to ask about your two leads. Were they goth and metal, like into goth and metal, or did you find like actresses you had to turn into that look?
Yeah, we found actresses that we had to turn into that look. So Summer Brunel is Stacy, and Madison Grace is Lillian. Summer's the brunette, Lillian is the blonde, and Madison is actually a music artist. She does more kind of country folk kind of stuff, alternative a little bit. She's a great artist, and but they both, during the audition process, so I actually cast this movie, these two leads, I cast them 3 times. And honestly, thank God that I did, just because, and different things would come up every now and again, but these two really embraced the Stacy and Lillian role, the character dynamics, the friendship that they have. These two girls just really, I mean, it was that natural chemistry that they had. And so we turned them into a couple of metal chicks, and the rest is history.
Nice. And so, like, I gotta ask, like, in terms of the effects, where do you stand? Digital or physical?
Oh, these are all practical.
Wow. Okay.
And you'll see it in the film. Everything's practical. Hillary Warren and Brad Shear were our special effects artists. I am a practical effects cultist. So that's the only thing that I'm going to work with. And so those two were great. All of our money basically went into the special effects and makeup. So everything that you do see there, like that's where all of our money went. The meager amounts that we had, but yeah, it's all practical.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is getting cheaper for CGI effects. It's cheaper. Is there a temptation to use it in some ways?
No, not really. So what I see CGI effects, I see it as icing on cake, and I'm not an icing fan. So I would like to have the cake, and if you want to put a little icing, like some set dressing here or there, like clean some stuff up with CGI or whatever. Okay, like I'm not as opposed to green screening like certain things, but that's as far as it goes. It needs to happen on screen. I want my actors, because this is indie, right? We don't have a lot of money to pay a lot of people. So the acting the actors that we can get, they put in, a great performance, but, to make it easier, to make it better, to make the performance more legitimate, stuff has to be happening in front of them. And they need to be reacting to the thing that's happening. And so that's the main reason why. And when it's in camera, when the camera is actually capturing the thing that's happening, it just looks better. Like I don't know how to explain it. There's great CGI out there. I'm not going to say that there's none, but there's just something about practical that it looks more real. It looks, I just think it looks better. I think it reads better, and it helps the performances.
Well, we have over 1,000 people watching live. We have a lot of questions from our audience. Let's start from the top. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's fire through these.
Let's do it. There's a lot.
All right. Axel Foley, did DJ consult Zach Morris of CZ's World for this movie? LOL. Do you know who that is?
I do not know who that is. I'm sorry.
Should
I know who that is? Zach Morris. The name sounds familiar, but I'm sorry.
From Saved by the Bell, but I think that's a different one.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
The Immortal Remus, question for DJ: did you attempt to get a theatrical release or not? But whatever the outcome, what were the obstacles?
Oh God, how do I answer this question in 10 seconds? No, I did not attempt to get a theatrical release. I actually traveled to Cannes last year to shop this movie around for a distributor.
Wow.
And I actually found one, and a lot of crap happened in between signing the contract and actually getting the film released. And I don't know what I can talk about right now or what I can't, but I'm just going as if we didn't get a distributor and it's just out wherever it is. So the obstacles are a lot, but I love this movie. I love indie, and I love horror, and I love the community, and I want to get it out there. So no, I did not attempt a theatrical release. I don't think it's a lot to do that.
Yeah, distribution is the nut to crack right now for indie filmmakers, and I have no answers. Tom Siebert, what's Mr. Remark's favorite horror film of all time?
It's always a rotating list, but I guess I would say my top three that it's always kind of rotating is Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Exorcist, and I always want to say The Thing because I love The Thing. I'll always watch it all of the time. But The Autopsy of Jane Doe has been creeping up on my favorite just horror films of all time list. And so even though it's rotating, I would say the top three that I'm constantly, I guess I should say, recommending to people would be Nightmare 3, The Exorcist, and Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Is 3 Dream Warriors, by the way?
3 is Dream Warriors. It's the best one.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Fun with collecting. What is the first VHS or physical media do you remember buying?
The first physical media I remember buying was, oh my gosh, it was Three Doors Down CD. That's the one with I'm forgetting the title of the CD off the top of my head, but it was the one, it was the one with Superman on it. That was the first thing that I bought. And then I had been buying, after I started watching horror films, I had been buying as many as I could. Cause I loved watching the special features on it and how it's made. That was the thing that intrigued me the most about it.
All right, Marcus Spin. My question is, what metal bands are you going to get for the soundtrack? Oh, so we got a lot of bands were you able to?
Yeah, so we got a lot of local bands. And we got a couple of bands to actually perform in the film. The bands that perform in the film are called A Wolf Among Sheep and MRSA, MRSA. And both their tracks are in the soundtrack. Insecticide. I always do this. We also have merch in the band's merch that the girls wear throughout the film. But Rotten Soil is a band that we got. Hellfrost is a band that we got, and they're all Rotten Soil's from Germany, but everybody else is around the Florida area, whether it's Jacksonville or Tampa or Orlando, somewhere around there.
Cool. All right. A question for DJ. What we're making practical effects a challenge or the M? Probably try to say something else.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a big effect that we did. There's a transformation scene during one of the hauntings in the movie where we transformed one of the actors. You kind of see it for a split second in the trailer, but that was an all day. I think that was a 14-hour day to be able to get that gag, because he had to be in and out of different versions of the makeup before we got to finish. So it was a lot, but it's all worth it.
All right, Ties wants to know, how did you gather your crew?
So a lot of it was people that I had known living here, people that I had done some previous work with, like short films and stuff like that. And then any slots that we were trying to fill, it was either Facebook or a website called Backstage. So that's where we got them. But yeah, good old Backstage.
All right. Sons of Check has DJ Remark. Sir, what are your inspirations for film and horror and metal? Great combo.
Yeah, so the inspiration, so I love character-driven movies. I love stories. And so those are the things that I link to the most. But I love with my top three, so Nightmare 3, Exorcist, Autopsy, I pull a lot of inspiration from that. And I'm also a big Lovecraft fan. So I try to pull a lot from Lovecraft. I love the cosmic horror, the things that are unknown. So that's a big inspiration for horror. I just love how horror is a vehicle to tell any story you want. I mean, you can have a horror anything when it comes to film, horror romance, kids horror, action, horror comedy. I mean, you can just blend horror with anything and you can tell whatever story you want. You can tell a lot of really deep stories with it. And so that's what I love about it. And then again, with the practical effects, I love seeing blood and gore and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know, the whole friggin' thing. And then when it comes to metal, I listened to Metallica, I think when I was like 8 or 9, and the rest is history. Basically, it was just anything that came after that.
All right. Razorburn wants to know, what's your opinion on AI?
Hate it. Throw it in the garbage.
Okay.
I actually actively campaign against the use of AI. It's just a disgusting thing to me. If I see movie posters with AI, trailers with AI, anything like that, I just automatically assume that this person's not serious about what they're doing, and I'm not going to give them my time or money because it's not about the end product. It's about the process. And when you're using AI, you're completely taking out that process. Writing prompts is not a process. That's not, you're not getting anything. You have to put yourself into what you make. You're not doing that with AI, and it's just, it's an ick.
Okay. The Immortal Remus question for DJ. For us physical media aficionados, especially such as myself in England, where can we order the Blu-ray or 4K disc? If there are any future plans for that, being region free.
Yeah. So bloodscribecreations.com. Just go to our website. You'll scroll down like they were showing, and there's the store there. You just click on the DVD box. It's going to take you to a looks kind of sketch on your phone, but it's very safe, and you can purchase the DVD there and get it shipped out. And it's region free. There's no
there it is.
No, restrictions there. But yeah, just click on that Blu-ray case, and you can buy it.
Cool.
All right. Mellow for 5. Can you flesh out your research about the future of Blu-ray and physical media?
Can I flesh it out?
Or what are your thoughts on the future of Blu-ray and physical media today?
So, well, I don't think it's ever going to make the comeback of being the main source of how we consume entertainment. But within the horror and sort of subculture communities, it is steadily increasing. I think I read something where it was like a couple of years ago, it was like the record outsold the CD for the first time in however many years, because people were listening to more music on vinyl. And when it comes to Blu-ray and DVD, more and more people are buying Blu-rays and DVDs. And the reason for that is because these streaming companies they just have the freedom to take down what you own if they want to, or change it, or upload a new version, or only offer an edited version, let's say. And so you're not getting what you actually bought, what you actually paid for. So when you're paying these monthly streaming costs and you're at the mercy of the streamer, it's not something that you actually have, it's not something that you could own, then do you really own it? And so, I think that's why a lot of people are really going towards collecting physical media again. And so that's what it is. I don't think it's ever going to come back to being the main form of how we consume media, but I definitely think, especially within the subculture communities, it's on the rise.
Yeah, and also during the zombie apocalypse, there is no streaming.
Yeah,
all you have
right, exactly. Yeah,
that's what really brought me back to Blu-ray again, because this BS thing where they change the movie or drop it from their service, and it's very frustrating. Yeah. So last question here.
All right. Ololiukui, what's your personal balance / philosophy regarding explicit visual detail? Where do you draw the line in showing / not showing in order for maximum impact without going full horror porn?
So it really depends. So how do I answer this? Because I'm of two minds when it comes to a question like this. One, I think that if it serves the story, it's okay. But I have to put an asterisk there. I like a lot of extreme content for the sake of extreme content, because it tips over that line to just being it's a circus, right? You can tell how, for example, like the Terrifier movies, for example.
Yeah.
I don't think the Terrifier movies are good movies in terms of quality, but Art the Clown is a very charismatic villain who's fun to watch. And the gore is just so over the top that it becomes funny. It's no longer scary. It's no longer like, oh, this is happening to somebody. This is just how far can we take this? And so it's enjoyable. So I think it's really a personal thing. I love all of the schlocky, sleazy stuff about horror, as well as the, more, I guess, elevated, even though I don't really like to use that word, form of storytelling and more, I guess, more substance horror rather than spectacle. But I love both at the same time. If I could marry that like spectacle and substance into a movie, I would love to do that.
And last comment here.
Yeah, Moral Remus for 199. Physical media is king of the world of DRM rug pulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ, thank you so much. Congrats on your film, The Hellgate. What's the website again?
bloodscribecreations.com. That's where you can buy the Blu-ray, or it's streaming. You can rent it for $3 on Amazon.
I say buy the Blu-ray. That's going to be, then you'll own it forever.
Yeah.
DJ, thanks for hanging out with us. Glad to finally get you here, and
This was an honor,
congratulations.
guys. Thank you.
Congrats on the movie.
All right. Thank you so much.
All
Hope
right.
to talk soon.
Take care. Later.
Bye-bye.
And we still have movies to review,
Yeah.
Alan.
Yes, we do. By the way, got an 8 out of 10 on Film Threat. Hellgate.
There you go. 8 out of 10. That's good. That means probably an award this nominee.
Probably.
And we'll see. Maybe the actresses can come out dressed in character to the event.
You mean as themselves?
Yeah, as their character. So, hey, we still have films to review. Quick soup here from Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Alan's Future Rear Windshield Fund.
Yeah, not gonna happen. The front one was expensive enough.
Oh my God. Let's we need to it's gonna finally be fixed. So
Oh, it is fixed.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we have 3 more things to review today. So thank you for hanging out with us. Let's get to them. I Love Boosters. This movie, according to you, Alan, packed screening.
Yes.
You literally got the last seat. And we saw we saw scenes from it at CinemaCon. The trailers I felt kind of mixed about. Tell me about I Love Boosters, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, this is from Boots Riley, and I will say that I saw Sorry to Bother You, and the trademark of Boots Riley is really interesting idea, and then it gets weird. The Sorry to Bother You was, a telemarketer who couldn't make sales until he put on his white voice. I mean, that was a really clever idea, and then it just got weird about horses, people transforming into horses. And I Love Boosters is right there. Kiki Palmer plays Corvette. She and her friend Sade, they are boosters, meaning their job is to go into high-priced clothing stores, steal, shoplift all the merchandise, and then sell it at their little makeshift store nearby. That's, and look, in this movie, that's a real job, and it treats it as a real job. But Corvette has other plans. She wants to be a designer, and Demi Moore plays this the best designer in the world, Christy Smith, and apparently because when Corvette wanted to apply for an internship, Christy had stolen her design, and it became famous and continues to steal her designs. And so she feels the need, she has to take down Christy Smith. And she does it by working at one of the stores that sell her things. And she's just going to go in and ultimately bring her to her doom. At one point, she goes to her house at the Millennium Building in San Francisco. Are you familiar with the Millennium Building?
I'm not actually.
It's a high skyscraper that was built in San Francisco. Problem is it's tilting because they didn't secure the foundation enough. And so the actual building is tilting. This is totally true. No one lives in it right now, but in this one she does. So that's the basic plot. And it gets weird. Lakeith Stanfield plays a demon who sucks the soul out of a woman through her vaginal area. Then there's Poppy Lou, who stumbles across technology that creates that there's this kind of machine that's a disc shape, and it does 3 things. One is it's a teleporter that allows Poppy to actually steal clothing off of the rack and then transport it to China. But it also does other things, such as you point it at something and it's called situational exponential something, where it takes you into it whatever you shoot it at, it gives it to the next, like the evolution of that. And then there's the deconstruction, which reverses it. Yeah, it's weird. And that's this movie. And quite frankly, look, if you know Boots Riley, he's a communist. and there are communist themes in this one. That the whole like unions are a big thing, and the ending is kind of leads up to that. But my sense of Boots Riley is he takes an idea of capitalism versus communism, and as we mentioned this before, but it's as if he overthinks it and then overthinks it and then overthinks it, and that's I Love Boosters. That's how weird this stuff gets.
Okay, I fully expected you to say that about it. It's like it starts off kind of a fun premise and then gets weird. Is it entertaining?
No, I mean,
really,
again, I think the movie has a strong plot or a strong idea, and then it just goes off into these weird tangents. I think the idea, this relationship that Corvette has with Sade, is interesting, and kind of held my attention for a while. Me willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, but then it just goes full Boots Riley in the second half.
And so, do you recommend it? I mean,
no, I can't. I couldn't recommend Sorry to Bother You. I liked the beginning of it, and then it just got weird. And that's
this the same way where it's like the beginning is like, this is kind of fun, and then it just goes off a cliff.
Yeah, I mean, it's these boosters who have a shop near a nightclub, and then Corvette goes in, seduces a guy, and then brings him to the shop to give him fashion tips and why he should buy their apparel if he wants to still look cool.
You don't recommend it?
I don't.
Let's go to this comments here.
Bill S. President Esquire. I can't wait for the DVD release of I Love Boosters with its FBI warning against theft.
Hilarious. That's good.
Yeah, ironic. Fun of collecting. This may be the worst looking movie I've ever talked about on here. I'm gonna go watch Mando and Grogu to cleanse my mind of this one. Yeah, the music is, the music is similar to how I felt about Mandalorian Grogu. It's interesting, but at some point it felt distracting. I don't know if you felt the same thing about Mando and Grogu.
Oh, it was distracting.
I know, and that was Ludwig Göransson, for crying out loud.
Hey, another film you saw, Alan, that I didn't get a chance to see is God Is. This. I don't know what to make of this movie. It's not a faith-based movie, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not faith-based.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this is probably other than the TV series we're going to review, this is my only recommendation of the week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at this poster. You have no idea what this is, and I have no idea what this is.
I mean, I saw the trailer. It looks like Kill Bill.
In a way it is. So we have our twin sisters here, Racine and Anaya. They, as children, they were disfigured with burn scars from their abusive father, played by Sterling K. Brown. He wanted to basically kill his wife, their mother, and then he burnt up his mother, his wife, and then the girls got involved in that. As a result, he kind of went off, there's a trial, let's put it that way. And then the girls here were put into foster care where, with the dark tone of this movie, what happened to them in foster care. So the movie starts now in the present where they're kind of adults, young adults, and they find out that their mother is still alive and that she's calling to them. They go to the mother, and the mother is even more burnt than the two here. And she asks one thing of them. Oh, by the way, they refer to her mother as God because she is the one who created them. So that's the title here. So they go to their mother for the first time since the incident. And the mother has one request for her two daughters. And that's this: go find her ex-husband and kill him. And that's this movie. It's kind of like, we see this trope a lot, ironically, of, Odyssey-like adventures. So the two girls are out to kill their father, and the movie is about the adventure to get there. So the first thing is to find out where he is. And the first place is they go to a church where the pastor of the church used to date the father. And from there, they're able to get a connection to the lawyer. And then they're going piece by piece until they get there. And a lot of this, the themes of this movie is just basically sisterhood, being able to support one another as sisters. And then near the end, it's spoiler alert, but they do confront the father. And now it's the question of, can you kill him? Do you have what it takes within you to kill another person? I found the movie interesting. I was not expecting, I didn't know what to expect when I saw the movie. But as this movie plays out, it is just this adventure of two sisters on a revenge tour. And that's, this is a revenge movie. And I think it handled well. I think a lot of it had to do with the two sisters and their relationship. Let me see. Racine is the more violent of the two. Racine, I should mention that Anaya, she is burnt in her face and on most of her body, while Racine only is burnt on her arms. And so everyone would look at Anaya and basically call her ugly, and then Racine felt the obligation to beat the guy up or beat up whoever said that. And so there's that element, as well as the trauma they experienced from the experience and the way they look now. I like the premise of the story. I like the way it plays out. And I think it is one of the smarter movies of the week. And so, yeah, it gets my recommendation.
Is it an action movie? Is it good as an action movie? More of a thriller.
It's more more of a thriller. The action is there, especially near the end. But this has an element that I think you will appreciate because you talk about it a lot. But the two go to the bathroom a lot because they're on a road trip, and they have, their bladders fill up, and so they have to relieve themselves. And the first time, it sets the stage. The second and third time, there are consequences to pulling over on the side of the road and going to the bathroom.
I could not survive this movie, but I'm glad you recommended this. Yeah. I've heard other people say really good things, so
yeah,
I'm going to check it out.
Look, I know you're thinking woke, but it is the Black experience at that time, and I had to say it. Foster care system is a dangerous place to be in, and there are abusive fathers. That's kind of the premise of the movie, but I think the issue is it's not blaming every man in the world.
Let's go to comments.
All right. Tim is not funny. Isgot is great. A great revenge thriller, sardonic, brutal pop art. The unabashedly Black story succeeds without demonizing white people. Instead, focuses on the terrific cast of Black characters, good and evil. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I got.
I like the sound of that. That's great. Hey, one more thing to review today. Spider-Noir is coming to Amazon Prime Video. I believe all 8 episodes drop very soon.
Mm-hmm. Which is a mistake.
Watching this series comes with a choice. You can watch it in black and white or color. You would be foolish to watch this in color. It is meant to be seen in black and white. It's Nicolas Cage. He plays a private dick named Ben Riley. It's set like kind of a 1930s alternate history where Ben is a detective, a gritty detective down on his luck. These are all film noir cliches. Private investigator who hung up. He was the Spider, a vigilante hero that took out baddies, and the woman he loved died tragically in an accident where a car went into the water, and he was unable to save the one he loved. So he hung up his spider mask, and that was it for him. But new villains are afoot, including one named Silvermane, played by really good actor. Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, Brandon Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson plays Silvermane. Other characters come into the fray, including and I'll say this, these characters this is obviously a Spider-Man story, because Spider-Noir was, it's a comic that I never read, but Spider-Noir is actually in the Spider-Verse films. And you've got characters that it's not quite all Spider-Man type characters, but you've got sort of proxies for.
Let's say that there's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's like Electro, Sandman, among other characters with powers in this universe, and they're like Spider-Man villains. And I don't want to. A lot of the cliches in this are right out of film noir. This owes more to film noir than comics, so it's borrowing a lot from Spider-Man. And kind of like, it's different. It's not Peter Parker, it's Ben Reilly. And it is very much 1930s. The first 2 episodes are chef's kiss amazing. Episodes 3 and 4 divert a little too much to me. It focuses on side quests, side characters I don't care much about, filler episodes. This would have been better as maybe a 6 episode series. I'll say, just sort of, I'm giving broad strokes, but like once it comes back to the main quest, which are all these other villains that Ben Reilly has to fight, it's fantastic. Nicolas Cage as the Spider / Ben Reilly is unhinged. And this movie, a lot of people are going to compare this to Sin City. Sin City is like a film noir trying to be a comic book. This is a comic book trying to be a film noir. Everything about this, including the way it's shot, it's black and white. It's shot with tied down shots. It's shot like an old film noir. When they're in cars, you see the cheesy background going by them. That's how they would shoot car scenes back then. The acting style, the way they talk, people talk like that era. It's very much, it's so authentic to old film noir. Watch a movie called DOA, Dead on Arrival, which has been remade many times. Watch the very old one from the 40s. That movie, it's so good. It's about a story about a man trying to solve his own murder before he dies. He's got like a day to live. Someone poisoned him. He'll be dead. He's trying to solve his own murder. Great. This takes elements of every old classic film noir and puts it in an alternate 1930s. It gets into Ben Reilly's origin later in the show, which is different from Peter Parker.
But similar.
But different. Everything about this is similar but different. Even though it has, I'd say, at least 2 or 2.5 episodes, I would say that dragged. Mainly when it would, you know what? The show drags when Nick Cage is not on screen. But Nick Cage does all those cliches, like he pretends to be a plumber to go into a guy's place to dig into the wall where he hid his spider mask when he gave up being the masked vigilante. He's got organic web shooters that, will work and not work for various reasons. It's so well cast. The people's faces. Lucas Haas is like kind of he's a gritty thug, and everybody acts like that era. So you could complain that the acting is bad. It's authentically bad to the era. It's shot like an old film noir. So the camera doesn't move a lot. It's stilted. Scenes are like scenes will take place in long shot, kind of like an old film noir. So they were really trying to mimic the style, the music, the acting style, the casting. Lucas Haas as this thug has this sort of contorted face, and the way people talk. It's in the end, I really loved it, even though by the middle I was like, oh, please, It's these divert episodes aren't great, but I don't know. This is the best superhero thing I've seen since. It's definitely not like the Penguin, but it's really enjoyed it. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Except I did enjoy the side episodes.
I didn't enjoy the side episodes.
I will say I've only seen I'm up to episode 6. And episode 6, it becomes very much like a comic book in terms of its story. There's a sci-fi element to it. But look, if you're going to make a comic book movie or television show, what you should do is you should read comic books and you should study comic books and understand why those work. And then if you're going to make a film noir, what you should do is you should study film noir, study its structure and understand how you tell a story through film noir and how you tell an entertaining story through film noir. That's what you have with Spider-Noir. You have someone who actually loves the two genres and mixes them together and produces this. Episode 1, it just starts with just a quick update of who Ben Reilly is. And I was hooked immediately. The look of the show, the film noir aspect of it. Look, I don't know how you can watch this in color. You have to watch it in black and white because in black and white, it's that contrast. If you look at the poster here, it's that contrast of the Spider-Noir figure with the white background. There's an intention that filmmakers have to have when they shoot in black and white to say to yourself, okay, what needs to pop in this image? What needs to pop on frame? And again, they study film noir so much that they understand how to do that. And so every scene is exciting. The use of black and white to tell the story, to paint pictures is just incredible. And I just feel like Hollywood is just so lazy that they wouldn't want to go through that intention. And then you just get into the story and you go, oh my God, I think that's Sandman. And then how that slow reveal and just the origins of Sandman and where Sandman is at this point in time was like, oh my God, this is film noir.
It's tragic and it's got all the film noir tropes.
Right. And then look, you mentioned it, but Brendan Gleeson is incredible in this movie. He is second to Nicolas Cage in this show. Brendan Gleeson plays Silvermane, who is basically the mob boss of the city. And the reason you didn't, I don't know, I think the reason you didn't like 3 and 4 was because it really dealt with the mob angle, kind of like the Daredevil type story. Because it does spend a lot of time away from Nick Cage, but it also builds this world, this corrupt world that the Silvermane has established, and these alliances, these shaky alliances between him and Ben Reilly and the Spider. That's episode 3 and 4 is where they play around with that dynamic between the Spider and Silvermane. And then basically episode 6 where I started, it's like, okay, this is interesting.
Now when it gets into the origins,
it goes
World War I and
it goes deep into the origin, and then it builds upon it in episode 6. Absolutely. I mean, damn, why doesn't Marvel do stuff like this?
It's such a great idea. And this is the thing, there's a book called, Gotham 1919 and 1939, like sort of Prohibition era with like an old, like a Batman of that era dealing with mob bosses. This is your model. Make a Batman show with this style. Doesn't have to be black and white, but there was even I remember seeing this as do you know about this old hoax? You can look it up. Years ago, there was someone pulled a hoax. You can find it on Reddit that Orson Welles was developing a Batman movie in the 40s. He was going to make Batman in the 1940s with Harvey Dent, Two-Face, all of that. And it was going to be in black and white. And Orson Welles was doing it. It's all a lie. But all these designs came out and fake photos from it that look so cool. Even fake posters. Look up the Orson Welles Batman 1940s hoax. yes, it was a hoax, but it was also kind of a model for how you could do a Batman TV show or movie. We've gotten to the point where modernity has ruined superheroes. Too many problems can be solved with a cell phone. You got your cell phone, it solves every problem. You know, modernity has made writing challenging for writers, which I think is kind of a cop-out excuse, but it's made things kind of boring, you know? And going back to this bygone era in a 1930s post World War I film noir, gritty on the streets, you know, like even there's like a newspaper boy that's like this the recurring characters, they grew on me by the end.
Yeah.
One character that rubbed me the wrong way kind of has like this big comeuppance in the, you know, there's good. All I can say is this: everything pays off.
Yeah.
Everything pays off. And that's why, and we're not getting into any spoilers at all. We want to give you our broad strokes impressions, but I'll say this: it will not be nearly as impactful in color. This is not meant to be seen in color. It is meant, it has it's got the, you know, sexy ingenue, you know,
the femme fatale, basically.
the femme fatale nightclub singer. It's got everything you've ever seen in a film noir. And I want to watch it again, frankly.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
The webs. I mean, the web effects were. It's like, oh my gosh, it's better than current Spider-Man.
It's the way they use, and also the way he looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing his detective outfit with the hat, but he's got the Spider-Man mask with the big goggles.
Right. It's
and
like
Clark
Kent and glasses.
And he's like Ben Reilly's also kind of a drunk. Like there's a great reveal where I don't want to say, but it's like you see a montage of Nick Cage as Ben Reilly being drunk. That is so funny and like a story point that you haven't gotten to it yet. Okay. It's so good. It's like, so it's got
I know the drunk angle. I just got to that part.
Drinking is a big part of it. Like, but it's all the cliches like, some bourbon or what do you got? You know, it's all from that era, and it's Nick Cage Unchained. And if you've seen like Nick Cage movies recently, this is a guy that doesn't hold back. This is an Oscar winner who is a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Who was going to play Superman. And this had to be his passion project. He is clearly involved in.
I mean, he embodies Ben Reilly.
He built that character. And the fact that there are so many layers, telling you, can't wait for you all to see it. I think it's out in a week. So definitely see it and watch it in black and white. Do not be tempted for the color. It kills the whole.
Don't be a pussy.
Yeah. Watch it in black and white. Spider-Noir. I assume you recommend it.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to finish it.
Let's go to your comments. And here we go.
I think it's Tuesday that it comes out. Grapho for 2. In all that is in the name of all that is holy, # cancel Disney Plus.
Yes, thanks, GraphWeb.
Yeah, I may need to. Yeah. Pilgrim Media for 2. Mr. Gore, Mr. A. Enjoy your weekend.
We'll be back on Monday with a shortened version of Versus.
Elliot Cecil for 199. Do they set up for a season 2? Do they?
I've seen it, and you can do a season 2. They don't do anything. I'll say this. Everything's wrapped up. There are loose ends which could be picked up for a season 2. There could be a season 2. Yes.
Yeah. And from what I understand, Sony and Amazon, they like to make money.
Yes.
Elliot Cecil for 199. Was Silvermane better than Kingpin?
Well, he's not like turned into a pussy, if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, if you take season 1 of Daredevil and compare it, they're very similar. Elliot Cecil for 199. Does he like to drink egg creme and fight Yahtzees?
That's not really a part of it. No.
Franklin Sterling III, is Silvermane supposed to be Kraven the Hunter? No, there's actual character Silvermane in the Spider-Man.
Yes, he's very different in the comics, and he's different here. But all of them are
not Kraven.
kind of. And what I liked also, I should have mentioned, like the effects are like you would do special effects back then, like with Sandman and Electro. Their effects are very cool.
Yeah, there's kind of a subtle coolness. It's not overly flashy, but it gets the job done. Jimmy Francis, as a fan of noir style, this sounds interesting.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Tony Elias, they specifically filmed it with a special black and white camera. It's meant to be seen in black and white. Watch it in black and white first, then rewatch in color, or don't watch it in color and watch it again in black and white.
Yeah.
Elliot Cecil, is he called Spider-Man or just Spider?
The Spider.
Just Spider.
Just Spider. He's the Spider, like the Batman or the. He's not Spider-Man though. Thank you for all.
Not Peter Parker.
Nope. And thank you for a longer show today. Went a little long. Sorry about that. Thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADL is 24, Olo Leakway on Rumble, and Daniel Ormond. Is it Daniel? Is it Lormond or Ormond?
It would be the same last name as our producer.
Are they related? Who knows?
I believe they.
Pussy.
I believe they make love to each other on a regular basis.
Don't be a pussy. Words to live by. Thanks, Alan.
Right.
So there you go. And thank you, Atomic Lori. Thanks, Alan. We'll be back on. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone. I'll be at a barbecue on Sunday. I'll be hanging out watching hockey, and I don't know. I might go to the movies too. What are you doing this weekend?
I guess I might see Obsession this weekend.
Oh, you need to see it.
Yeah. I reluctantly, I might even see Mando again, but don't count on it.
Well, see it in a different way. I saw it in
you see it in 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw it in Screen X. The Screen X effects are okay.
Yeah. Well, they filmed the Screen X portions on set.
And the IMAX portions as well. So there you go. That's it. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll be back on Monday with Versus. Alan, what do you have to say?
Let's get out of here.